So if you watched last night's video, you'll know I did a video on Logan Dishon, a 17-year-old that's been lying about using gear. Here's an update on just from last night. Logan is in hospital. Apparently his heart stopped working. He was on life support for his heart. I'm not sure if he still is, due to a condition and/or infection, bacterial infection called pyomyositis. I think that's how you say it, which is related to, according to what he says, dirty needles that he's used.
So, start with the video. It's a bit of a morbid one. This kid called Logan, I'll call him a kid because he's under 18, he's 17, and as you just saw, the Gym Reaper himself was talking about it. Bearing in mind, this just resides in, my generation and the current fitness industry as a whole. I like to just talk about it right now. So, when it comes to being in the fitness industry, which I am a very, very small portion of that, and I wouldn't say I'm very successful in it, but I will put my opinion out there, as I've been training 2 years naturally and managed to get up to, the lifts I have and, all that stuff. So, when it comes to PEDs, yet again, you can do whatever you want with your body. You can inject fake tits, you can inject fake ass, you can inject all sorts. I don't care. But Logan claimed natural for so long, and then you now see him in a bed because he got like some bacterial infection in his heart because of a dodgy needle. And so many people are like saying, oh, I feel sorry for Logan, I feel, for his family and everything. I don't feel anything. Literally. I'm more of a tough love person. I say he fucked around and find out. Because I thoroughly believe if you're going to do something like drugs, alcohol, gym, or whatever, you should know the risks. Because so many people are so, they don't know the risks of PEDs and stuff. And then they take them and then they get them. It's like, you're that stupid and I believe you deserve the consequences. Because people may disagree, but I believe if you get these side effects of, steroid abuse, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, and, say if you injure yourself in the gym, all those can be avoided, by not doing it. Because, you see, the thing is, I do MMA and gym. I know I'm going to get hurt eventually, which I've already been hurt. I have already had a shoulder injury and a hip flexor injury in the time I've been going to the gym. So that's an injury per year. And with MMA, I think this was caused by it. And I can certainly say it's not the most painless experience. I know I'm going to get hurt, But you see, the thing is, with all these kids, I will call them kids because they act like fucking children. So that's basically 16 and under, and 16 probably to 20. So within my range, so I'm 19 currently. These kids are fucking about with all these, steroids, SARMs and all that. And then then complaining to the internet that, oh my God, I got this side effect. I'm now in hospital. That's your own fault. I don't care. Like, it's telling people, the reason why it's a good thing that Logan does talk about how he's in the hospital is that it might deter some people, but yet again, it doesn't. Because people are like, oh my God, I have one life, I have all this. The thing is, most of you don't even love lifting. That's the thing. You want the quick result because you're so, deluded and, diluted into this whole get rich fast, all this rubbish, like go fast, be the youngest, all this. Who gives? Let's be honest. If you haven't been training from a young age, like let's say 10, you'll not become a prodigy. You need the genetics, you need the obsession, and also you need the time. So like, say if you train powerlifting at 10, you're of course going to be quite good at, compared to a person who's been training 2 years. And, all those factors go in. Like, it takes time to do this, stuff. And Logan, as you can probably seen by his, tremendous, bench transformation, benched 1,000 pounds. Yeah, you can probably tell this guy definitely did not think of the side effects that would come with it. Now, I think a lot of influencers are blasting, like, the guy who like goes, "Do you want to be a pig?" That guy is a bit fucking weird, eh? And he flexes that he's 18, but he was like 17 for a while and 18 for a bit, but I don't know. I don't know how the US system works, but he's either older than he says he is, or he's on drugs, which I thoroughly believe. I don't really care, But with all that in mind, I don't feel any, empathy for all these people that are dying of steroids and dying of this. Primarily because I'm like, well, you took the chances and you suffered the, there's no cause in it. There's no effect without cause. If I were to inject myself with a dirty needle, of course I'm going to get a bacterial infection. And if I inject myself with steroids, I might have heart problems, I might have acne, I might have all this. That happens. And that's why I've, thought to myself, do I really need steroids? Do I really need steroids to actually, get a platform, get everything going? No. I can be strong and look good without it. Look at Will Tennyson. Look at Jesse James. All these other natural bodybuilders. And these people, these kids that don't actually love lifting, they just lift purely because, I want to look like that. Cool. You won't get anywhere. That's me being honest. Yeah, sometimes I hate going to the gym, but it's the discipline and love for what I do that keeps me there. I'm in this for the long haul. I'm willing to do lifting until the day I die. And most of these kids, they just want the, 6-pack massive muscles all in 1 year. You don't get it in 1 year. Because think of Togi. Togi's an outlier. He's basically a quick responder to steroids. And he was training, guess what, 2.5 years before he took them. So he already had a bit of a frame to him. See, that's where these kids are going wrong. They just instantly go on the steroids and think, yeah, I'm going to become next Sebum, which you don't have his genetics. You don't have his structure. You don't have anything. It's only these outliers, these 0.0001% of people that are actually, blowing up. Because I've seen a 19-year-old IFBB pro and another, I think he's 21 now. He's competed at the Pittsburgh Pro, I believe. He's got curly blonde hair. And he was 19 IFBB pro. And I'm just thinking to myself, at least he has that obsession, he wants to actually be a bodybuilder. Most of you don't want to be bodybuilders, you just want to look good. Then it goes into the question of why? Is it because you're insecure about something? Is it because you want to look better? You just feel ugly, you feel small? And that's where you need the maturity of, going, I know I don't have the best genetics in the world. And if I do, great on me. I get a good physique. But most people can achieve quite a good physique. That's what people don't want to do. They don't want to wait. Which, if you don't want to enjoy the journey, you might as well just stay the way you are. Because you'll keep injecting steroids more and more and more. And then you'll never be satisfied. Because you just want more. And I get it. I always want more. I want more plates on my bench, even though the fucking shoulder is all screwed up. I want, more muscle, but, I have the humbleness and, the logic to understand if I physically can't get there, that's tough shit. And that's what most of these kids don't understand, And yeah, I might go on test in the future, but that will be because I want to do bodybuilding. You know, if I'm physically good at it at a natural state, you know, because I will compete naturally at one point in my life, and I'll do powerlifting, fighting. If one of those, you know, come back as in I'm actually quite good at this, I'll probably pursue it and, you know, do whatever it takes. But you see, the thing is, all these kids just want to look good. Oh, want to look good. Well, great, you little princess. You want to look good. Wow. Amazing. You know, it's one thing to just take steroids and want to look good and then, you know, actually putting in the effort and, you know, going through that mental and physical transformation. Because I definitely know I've gone through a major change through going to the gym and throughout my life going to the gym. And it's built my character. I've not took the, you know, fast route of just going injecting myself and just going like, yeah, I've completed this naturally in like, what, 2 months? My generation honestly disappoints me on how, you know, fast they want everything. Like, it's not all about getting it fast. Sometimes it's all about, you know, making yourself happy. Because I can tell you this, when you inject steroids at such an early age and you don't know how to, you know, work out, you not complete that journey, you won't be happy. Because I can tell you the happiest moments have been through that journey. I've not gone from like lifting 180 kilos from a deadlift to 300 in a week because I took steroids. I'd rather have that journey of getting up to 300 kilo deadlift than just have it straight away, you know, because I don't see the much point. If I can't actually do something naturally, you know, at least to some decent degree, how will I be like if I'm on drugs, you know? And it's just, you know, these kids don't understand that. You need to at least be somewhat good at what you do, you know? But yeah, I don't really feel any empathy for these people because I would take the ownership. If I were to take steroids, I could possibly die from a heart attack or anything like that. Or, you know, even with my natural lifts, I could, you know, tear a chest pec. I could, you know, tear my quad. I could do all this. I take the responsibility if that happens. And that's the maturity in the gym. You will realize that when you get to the stage that I'm at like an intermediate, because I've been doing it for 2 years. And these kids, man, I don't know. My generation cooked, but I like to have at least a bit of hope in that this video might, you know, discourage some people from taking steroids because it's the quick option. Because honestly, if you're not good at it, don't fucking do it. Because in that retrospect, if you're not willing to obsess over it and, you know, push yourself for that, it's not for you. It's just my opinion and the tough love that I believe in. Like, if you are willing to take stuff, even if it's recreational, so many people I know take recreational stuff like alcohol, other substances, and then they're like depressed. And I'm like, no wonder. You can't even have fun while sober. It's just stupid, in my opinion. Because if you can't, you know, in your own body sober, just like, you know, no drugs, no nothing, actually have fun, you won't have fun with it, you know. You'll just rely on that stuff, you know, for your little bit of dopamine rush. And yeah, it's just an unfortunate side I see a lot. And yeah, I just wanted to make the video because I'm passionate about this industry. And sometimes I believe I'm more passionate about it than a lot of people in the industry because they just take steroids and, you know, everyone likes them because they take steroids. Like Andrew Eubanks, you know, that guy fell off and then took steroids and then said, oh, I do it for myself. No, you do it for others. Fuck what other people think. Be you. Who gives? I don't give if you don't like me. I don't give a shit if you like me. It's that thing. Stop giving a shit about what other people think. Because there will always be someone that doesn't like you. There have been people on my, multiple social media saying stuff about me. Do I give? I don't give a fuck, honestly. I honestly couldn't care. Because their little opinion of me doesn't affect who I am. People say I'm a bad person because of the stuff I say. I don't care. I know myself. I know myself to be an okay person. I'm not perfect, but at least I try. And that is the good part about me. I try. So please take my opinion into account when you are judging, if you're going to take anything. And yeah. Now on to the rest of the video. It is a pull day, week 1, so basically very, very light. And yeah, you can see how I build my body naturally without taking substances that supposedly will make me feel better. So just take it from me. Anyway, on to the rest of the video.
Now it's week 1 for the 1 rep part of this series. And yeah, it is block 1. And started off with like 200 and then went down to like 180. And yeah, pretty chill. Nothing too challenging at all, as I'm still recovering from basically PR week was last week. So gotta give your body time to recover. Yet again, felt pretty good, just no challenges. And yeah, I used my protein stock, and I won't lie, it's quite good for what it looked like in the beginning. So definitely good chalk is what I'll say. But anyway, on to some Pendlay rows after some deadlifts. Yeah, just to increase the power in the lower portion of the movement. And yeah, also just like trying to activate the traps as well. I lower it down slowly, as I find that it also just helps with lowering the deadlift down as well, because sometimes people just chuck it down and then get injured. But I only chuck it down when it's a proper lift. But with the rest of it, it's just like cool, calm, collected. But anyway, on to some wing creation technique, aka lat pull down. Started off with like the whole stack and then just like made my way down. Just primarily because builds that muscle through like when you initially with a higher weight and then you lower it, it'll generally feel lighter, so you can get more reps out. Hence why I do it. And Dorian Yates used to do it, so I find it works for me. Might not work for you, but you can always try. And that's the wonders in life. You can always try. And yeah, only if you try you will succeed. But anyway, on to some rows. Yeah, these felt pretty good anyway. Activating the traps and everything. So yeah, just rowing really. Even though I don't really like the exercise itself sometimes, but it's gotta be done, because sometimes you do feel a bit crap on some exercises because of certain things. But yet again, it's lifting. You gotta be dedicated. You gotta push it once in a while. So my advice is keep at it, because if it's working, like if it's building those traps for this exercise, then it's working. Even if you don't feel the muscle some days, it can still be just a case of you know, you might not eating too good, or stuff like that, or your nerves. It just depends on those kinds of things, because your body, adapts in certain ways. But if you even if you don't get a pump, it's like you're still working the muscle. So just put it through the movements, and then I'm pretty sure 2 hours afterwards you'll be like, oh yeah, I definitely worked my traps today. But anyway, on to some biceps. Yeah, biceps to finish off. It wasn't really that long of a workout, primarily because yeah, just I don't do many exercises for muscle groups. I just believe in, if you do at least one exercise for, let's say the lats, it's fine. As long as you put it till failure, you don't really need to go through several movements just to, stimulate that response, because in the grand scheme of it, lat pull down and lat pull over technically train the exact same thing. It's just, which one will you do on that day, Which I can see the point of, oh, if you do them together, it also increases the intensity. Sure, yeah, cool. But I just do lat pull down for my lats, and then rows for my traps, and then breech curls, and then I do some other cable curl or something. And that's just primarily a preference, in terms of when I do cable curl, it's more of a, finisher than anything. It's nothing, too extra, because sometimes with breech curls, it isn't enough. Like the amount of weight I do still doesn't stimulate enough. So I just do some cable curls, whether if it's in front of me or behind me. That I'm not really bothered, as long as I'm stimulating that response in the muscle I want to build. And I don't see a problem with that, because if you think about it, what's the point in so many different movements if they literally train the exact same thing? It's like going from lat pull down to whatever the hell those things are, like unilateral lat pull downs. Is like a hammer strength one, where you pull in front of you and then down into your hip. Like, I don't see the point on doing lat pull down and then that, because you're literally training the exact same thing. You might as well just stay on the exercise you are on. Just my point of view. And as you can see, just cable curls yet again, hanging around with my friend right there. Absolute unit. He used to be incredibly skinny, so like we're talking 20 kilos less than that. So he's doing quite well. So, I mean, I used to be, 20, 25 kilos lighter since, probably 2 years ago, something like that. I can't remember, but yeah, he's doing good, is all I can say. He's trying to get that Jackie Chan build, be the extraordinary team worker. So he's getting there. But yeah, in regards to just the video and everything, if you maintain and be consistent, you will get, the physique you want, because I don't really care what other people say. You will get some sort of physique. You'll look way better than if you didn't work out. Because if you think about it, by not working out, you just stay the same. And if you try and work out, try and change yourself, at least to look like you train and stuff. I see so many kids nowadays with no plan, no program to actually, do anything. They got all these, literally, I spoke to a 17-year-old kid. So around Logan's age. All this kid does is train upper body, nothing else, not even trains his legs. And that just shows, when you have structure, you can achieve something. Look at my physique, and then go to a video where I'm talking about my, how I used to look. That's no structure compared to structure. You know, if you look at the evolution of my physique, there's a video on it, like a little short. If you type in willpower evolution, there was a point where I literally just trained different body parts, different days. I didn't really care. And then once I got a, you know, program, I automatically just shot up in strength and size. It's the best thing you could possibly do. When you get a program, you'll look better. And you'll be able to see here, you know, I haven't looked like this since day one, you know. I mean, look at this. Just my V-taper grown, you know, my shoulders, my arms, all that training has culminated into this. And I'm quite lucky in that I was skinny and I can stay quite leanish all year round. You know, I'm like 15% body fat all year round. And it's very comfortable for me, and I'm quite lucky. So I'd say it's all about effort at the end of the day. And if you put a program in, you will get better results. Stop being a pussy and thinking, oh, programs are so rubbish. Make one yourself then. You know, structure yourself, and then you will get the results you want. But anyway, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.